fear. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and their opinions of others.
Boxing King Media in association with the Riyadh season. Delighted to be joined by Shane Fury. Shane, fresh from Riyadh. He's still got a bit of a tan. How are you, first of all?
I'm okay. It's been back, 3-4 days? All good. Just back doing stuff I enjoy.
Been around your family. I can see your lad here. Is it a future heavyweight?
I think he's heavyweight now. He's definitely an heavyweight now, but we'll see. He's a good boy. He's my best mate. So yeah, he makes me happy every time I look at him.
You've got 3 sons. Just out of curiosity, would you like to see him go into boxing?
Yeah, come here. Have a look at this.
Let's get young Shane Fury on camera.
No, this is.
Do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, listen. The other two's into boxing. They go to the gym and mess around. So he's seen his big brothers do it. So probably listen. I wouldn't be bothered if he wasn't into it. To be fair. So this is what it is. Boxing. Really, it's. I can't wait for it to be done.
Hopefully one day I'm going to come back when he's big and fighting and interviewing. But
he's I can't. I was just about to say that my mind's everywhere at the minute because they're screaming. I can't wait for it to be done and dusted and over. Not like I'm in it, but listen, I am some sort in it, and I just can't wait for it to be done.
What I like about you, Shane, is like you don't mince your words. You're happy to answer anything, and you'll say it as it is. So I've got some critical stuff to ask you. I'm going to go through it, but one of the first things I want to ask you is, or even get your opinion on, is just
before right. You asked what you've got to ask. Your questions, what you've got written down out there, but ask the questions what people want to hear, and I will try and answer them for what I know. Okay. You know what I mean? And I'm curious, like, where everything's like, what Tyson's done wrong and who's he dodged, and just ask me anything you can. And there's some things what I'll say pass because I don't know anything about the business side of shite and whatever. But if I know it, I'll have a chat with you about it and just try and be open as possible.
I respect you for that, and I think the first thing I want to speak to you about is, what do you think of the work His Excellency Turki Alalshik has done with regards to boxing since his impact into the sport? We've seen the fights that are getting made, the fights that are suggested to get made, and what he's done so far.
Listen, the man is before Turkey come on board, boxing was in a funny state. It wasn't a guarantee that Tyson was even going to fight again. With the state of it, to be fair, and he come on board, and everything's just possible now. So he has. Without him, I don't know where boxing would be. To be fair.
The last time we spoke was just the day after the Ngannou fight, and one of the things that stuck to me is that you said you felt deflated and you wasn't sure what was going to happen next. I just want to ask you, when you came back home, because I know Tyson respects you a lot and listens to what you have to say, I'm guessing both of your brothers got together. You must have given him peace of your mind, because you didn't hold back. You said what you felt. How did that conversation go when you guys came back after the performance against Ngannou?
There's no conversations about it. Tyson's in there doing the best he can at any given time. There's not one time that Tyson don't do the best he can. It's just under the circumstances and the prep and everything what went round it. Like, not to go on about that. Listen, he had neck and the 12-month out the ring. That's a disaster for someone what's 34, 35. Then he comes in and has a 6-week training camp, whatever it is, however many. His trainer is from America. He can't get into America, or he couldn't do the other day. So there was no a pot around in the gym and whatever. It was like, right, sugar, come over. We've got a training camp, right? I don't know how long it was, 7, 6, 4. I don't know how long it was, but having a training camp from being a slob, from being fat, 22 stone, to do a 6-week training camp, and also I think boxing is a mindset. And probably a more of a percentage than what a lot of people think it is. And the mindset, even though you've done your training and your sparring, because even though it was say for an, I can't really remember how long now. Say it was 7 weeks he was training. Wasn't ideal because from 10-month layoff, even though he'd been going on the cross trainer and pottering around, Tyson trains as good as he can possibly do. Now Tyson's as fit as he is fight night when he's 22 stone and out shape, but he will do the best he can. So this is my mind going blank again because I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so I don't even know what the question. Oh, so yeah, he trains hard when he's in camp, and the mindset of it all. 100% of people telling you, oh, he got a lot of stick over it, and then people saying he's not going to last 2 rounds, and that even though you're training, you're doing your job. And he tells people, I'm focused, yeah, I'm not overlooking anyone, but the meanings behind it is bigger than words. I don't know if that's the right saying about it, but it's all right me saying something. If I'm not feeling it and I'm not living it, the word, oh, I'm going to do it, or I'm doing it, is not good enough. You need to feel it. And when you speak to everyone and they're saying, oh, he's going to flatten, you can take him out anytime you want and you're going to flatten him. And then a mixture between the man being better than what you think he was going to be. It was a disaster. Not a good performance, but he got the win. And he got the win, and that was it, really. It wasn't what we wanted, but sometimes you don't get what you want. And it's worked out for both men, hasn't it? Because if Tyson would have come in and plastered him, he wouldn't have landed another big fight. And it'd have been no hope. It'd have been just what it was. But it's worked out for Tyson as well as him. And listen, onwards and upwards.
Definitely so. And you said to me last time that you're gonna play your part in this training camp. You know, the Fury Usyk training camp started, you know, for the original date. Did you implement anything? Because obviously there was a lot of things that you wasn't happy about. You know, you spoke about it in that interview that a lot of people, you know, kind of commended you for just speaking from the heart. So did you have any involvement in this training camp?
Listen, I've no really involvement in any training camp. I'm just a body. Do you know, I'm just someone who's trusted by someone, and it's nice to have that in it. But as far as boxing and that, there, I know Tyson, and I can probably tell him certain stuff, whether he listens or not, I don't know. Probably don't listen at all, because 9 times out of 10 it's an argument. And what I'm trying to say he can't do, and not doing it the way we should be doing it, and so on. So, but then it becomes an argument. So sometimes I think probably just better off not there and coming on fight night, whatever. But it's nice to have someone. Well, I would think, you know, I'm very. I don't really have much time or much. Not when I say respect, much. I would rather have a family member than 20 other members. Do you know what I mean? So that's just me. But Tyson's totally different than me, and that's from my point of view. I think I'm doing something good there, but probably better off not being there, because there's a lot of everyone's walking on eggshells around me, because it's what it is. But yeah, I don't know if I'm doing good or bad there, but I'm there, and I've been there all the time. So we'll see. I'm gonna carry on being there.
You know, when you say words like that, people are on eggshells around you. Know who you're referring to, and why are people on eggshells around you? Is it because you just say what you think, or are you know, why is that?
Well, it's not.
You told me not to hold back, so I'm going all in.
No, you listen. I want more critical questions than that, because I find the people what's there. Listen, I'm pals, and Tyson's good friends with everyone on camp, you know, or else he wouldn't be there. But obviously Tyson's got a different relationship than what I have. But my point of view, these people are paid hands to do a proper job for Tyson. So if it means staying at home where there's a football match on, well, if nothing's said, they'll go to the football match, come in and give Tyson a disease, so he's off, so he's not performing good. So when I'm there, if I'm not there, it's willy-nilly, let's go to the football match. And I'm not saying this is just an example, But if I'm there, it's like, fucking hell, this idiot, he's going to start for going. So, yeah. And another thing is I can have an argument with that lampshade. And that's just it. I get very agitated and irritated with people, and that's it. So I don't know. I'm probably better off not being there. But whatever I try and do is only for the benefit of Tyson. So, yeah, that's it. So yeah, probably better off not being there. But I am there, and I'm gonna stay there.
I think people,
And I'm going to carry on arguing. We argue every camp, and every time we have an argument, the very next day he comes back and does exactly a lot better. So probably a good argument before the fight would be a good start.
well, they say, you know, it's there's nothing better than having your people around you since that have been with you since day one, and obviously you've grown up with Tyson, so that makes perfect sense. The camp started. We didn't see any social media stuff. We didn't see nothing from Tyson. You kept very low key, and I know you flew out just before, after Christmas to do the camp in Riyadh. I think the first bit of news we got from the camp and what was broke on social media and world news was Jai Opetaia's left training camp because he's dropped Tyson Fury off after only sparring 5 rounds, and obviously it became such a big story. From what I've seen, nobody from Jai Opetaia himself hasn't said nothing, but I'm aware his team have released a statement and said, you know, that didn't happen. They were competitive rounds. So, as you was said to me, ask you straight. So, did he drop Tyson Fury in sparring?
Well, I can assure you he never dropped anyone. And whether Tyson beat him up or he didn't beat him up or vice versa, if he beat Tyson up, I would tell you that, yeah, he's a very good man and whatever, be straight. But I wouldn't be saying anything if Tyson done the same with him, because they're obviously spar stories. And the thing is, listen, a load of rubbish. That obviously never happened. Just never happened. But people will believe exactly what they want to believe. You know, any little bit of negative, they can get views off them, and they can get. I suppose it's the business, you know. But these people, if they're doing 100 videos a month, 85 of them's of Tyson, negativeness, you know. So
What are you referring to?
whoever's on the whoever. I've not got anything. I've not got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I have a look on YouTube here and there, and there's never anything positive. There's never like, oh, Tyson sliced his own eye open. Tyson's been put down by Jai Opetaia. Tyson's been beat up by someone, not looking himself, and what, I don't know, whatever. A load of like negative. Tyson's whatever, all negative. But he's he got a cut eye. So what the plan was? Tyson in the camp. He was in really good shape, and I don't mean good shape to a bodybuilder or some man with a six-pack with cut hands and everything. Good shape for Tyson, okay? Down in weight, slim, big shoulders, big set of arms, love handles disappearing, looking well. And I'm thinking, right, there's obviously some negative chat at the minute. But he put some videos on of training and floating around the ring and looking really good. And I'm waiting for a video for someone just to say like, well, he was training hard and he took the fight seriously and everything else. But there's not one positive video about anything positive. So really, in boxing, you just got to please yourself. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of proper fans. Tyson's got a lot of proper fans, but the proper fans have not really got voices. You know, you only need. If Tyson's got 300,000 fans, but then he's got 50 haters with YouTube channels, that's all I'm seeing. You know, so there's a lot of negative stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, that question with Jai and sparring, out of respect to Jai and Tyson, I wouldn't even want to ask you that. I think it just needed putting to bed, and I think out of respect, it's not fair for me to even ask you like who dominated in sparring and who didn't, because sparring, and you'll hear from fighters that, you know, sparring is just about learning and implementing your game plans. It's not about who dominated who, because on fight night, you know, I've heard stories where from sparring to fight night, it's a completely different story.
Tyson's never ever been dominated, ever in the whole process of a spar. You know, he's gone in there and he's been tired on occasions. Listen, you're not yourself every day in fucking training, you know. And if you are, you're not training hard enough, you know. Sometimes, right? He's done, for an example, he's done a leg session the day before, and then he's done a big training session in the morning, and then he's got 8 rounds to do over night time. You're gonna be tired. But even in them tired moments, he's never been dominated. He's never been beat up. It's never ever. And the difference is, with sparring partners and that there, and listen, he's had some really good sparring partners. There's Moses, just unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent. You know, he's just turned 19. He's had a few fights, and do very good sparring for Tyson. You know, so that speaks what sort of level he's on. But as far as Tyson getting beat up by anyone and dropped, Tyson's never ever been dropped in sparring, ever. He looks like he's got a fucking glass chin in the ring, but never in sparring has he ever been dropped. Now, I'm sure he's seen blue flashes and whatever, but I've never seen him hurt or wobbled or dropped or hurt in sparring. You asked him, anyone who's sparred and put the gloves on, you get it with a solid shot. I don't know if I had a glass chin or not, but 9 times out of 10 of sparring, someone hit me and I'd have, oh, fucking hell, blue flash. That's sparring. I'm sure people's had plenty of that. But as the rounds I've ever seen him, he's never ever been hurt or dropped or wobbled or anything, and he's never ever been dominated or he's, you know, it's just rumours. But people will believe what they want to believe, and really, who cares?
I think people who watched your interviews before, and it's a common trend in the comments that Shane seems like a trustable guy. He speaks from the heart. He doesn't bullshit. So I'd like to think what you've just said there, and you know, it's obvious to see that, you know, what you're saying is straight, and hopefully people can put that rumor to bed. But I will ask you is, it did seem strange him leaving. I don't know if it was 5 rounds or not. You know, from your understanding, why did he leave after only doing 5 rounds? Well,
it was quite disappointing for us why he left. There was no conversation of him leaving after the spar. We thought we was going to do another sparring session the next day, and it never happened. He didn't. He needed to go home because there was no sparring for him there, orthodox sparring. So he needed orthodox sparring, but and the orthodox sparring partner what he did have was Tyson. A total different level on Brady's height and everything. So probably understandable, but he did know that before he come. And if he wanted other sparring, he could have got other sparring in. And that's it. But I don't know. Actually, that was why he said he left. But whether it was the truth or not, I don't know. I don't know. That's it.
See, I think that's what kind of raised so many questions, because people like, he's flown all the way from Australia to Riyadh. Surely you must have known that. But thank you for clearing that up. So the next thing happens. Tyson gets cut. You know, before we even speak about the cut, the video that came out initially, there was 2 big things that people made an issue out of. The first was the video saying it looks like a video from like 20 years ago. But I don't know if the sparring was recorded on your iPhone. Whose phone was it? So I'll let you clarify that, because there's a narrative out there that video is fake.
Is there a narrative about it? Is there? But who? Just people what could see him cross the road and they'd totally deny it. Like these people you can't win with, and it is what it is. There was no narrative about it in my eyes, and let me tell you, Tyson's getting near on triple the amount of his highest payday. Okay, so that's the one reason why you're not going to get pulled out. Okay, another reason is we're super confident of beating Usyk. You know, I believe that Usyk is a great fighter. Okay, and he beats them all. I don't think there's anyone else who beats him, but I don't think he can beat Tyson. I don't think he can. You know, and we was about to see that. So we was about to see. I was looking forward to it. I was just looking forward to it myself, to watch and just to see. But yeah, near on triple his highest payday. Super confident of doing the job. coming back to back off a training camp and a fight previously, coming in the ring sharp, coming in probably the best shape he's coming in the last, I don't know, however long. He was in good shape. And everything going well. Now you have your hiccups in camp. You have things never go 100% smooth. He's 35 years old. He's got old injuries, but you got to take care of them injuries, and you've got to do it. I'm sure Usyk and anyone with mileage on the clock has got it at that age. So there is little stumbling blocks, but it's you got to get over them, fix them, get over them, and sort it. And everything, for my liking, everything was going well. And that happened, and it just knocked all our plugs in. It's just, listen, I feel deflated now. I'm at home now. I've been at home 4 days, and I just feel like I just want to. I'm not left this place for 4 days. I'm not interested, generally.
So we've quashed the whole thing about the video being fake, because that was crazy. And then the other, this is almost ludicrous, but like I said, I want to clear it up rather than asking you about it, because obviously it's crazy. But there was people out there saying, I think George Groves did an interview, and I think he was tongue-in-cheek, but he said the cut looks surgical. And there was people out there saying, he's cut himself to buy himself more time, which sounds absolutely bonkers from a guy that's, it's well noted, won every single title in boxing.
Again, there's a lot of jealous people. I'm not going to go in some man what's generally sitting in an armchair talking about world champions and just trying to slag them off, but I'll talk about them like as men and just an opinion. George Groves was he come through the development squad with Tyson. They've knew each other since being 16 years old. And there's a big, in people's head, there's a big rivalry. Not in people's head. Like, for an example, George Groves won't want to see anyone what he's been connected with to do any better than what he has, because Tyson's surpassed pretty much. Everyone's got their own opinion, but I can't see how it's debatable, really. But yeah, there's a lot of jealousy in boxing. And not just boxing, anything what someone's passionate about. You can be a carpet fitter, and if that certain carpet fitter is better on you and faster than you, you want to drag it. It's just anything. Probably a bad example, but yeah, a lot of jealousy. And it is what it is. Tyson's a big name, isn't he? It's all negative at the moment with people and that there, but negative remarks. Notice something, what Tyson is. When everyone's loving it, and he's the best thing since sliced bread, and selling Wembley out, and the fucking people who were selling the tickets said he could have sold 4 Wembleys out, and there was 3 million people in a queue, whatever it was, don't know the exact number, buying tickets, and and this man's the greatest thing, whatever. And then on everyone's tongue, and even though it's negative now, he's still on everyone's tongue. So he's very big, Tyson, and that's what a lot of people don't like, And I don't believe. I don't want to jump the gun here because we're in no rush, but I don't like Tyson's got a. Has there been ever any other fighter what's fought and beat 3 other number 1s in the world?
You put me on the spot. I couldn't even answer
There's
that.
definitely no British fighters what have. Klitschko was number 1 in his division at the time, number 1, and he was a number 1 by a clear mile, really.
Just the heavyweight division.
Any division.
Well, I think Carl Froch is the one that comes to mind who beat the best of his era.
Did he?
I think
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not saying Carl Froch never beat the best of his era. Carl Froch, I've not grew up watching him, but listen, Carl Froch is up there with me, probably top 3 favourite fighters in England. Probably top 2. My favourite's Joe Calzaghe. All right, but Carl Froch, you've got to respect him of what he's done in that. But Carl Froch never beat his number 1. Was Carl Froch ever number 1 in his division? There was always someone better than him, wasn't there? And this is not, again, me an armchair man. I'm just saying what Tyson's done. He's beat Klitschko, what was number 1. He's beat the Wilder, what was number 1. And now he's about to beat Usyk, number 1. It's for me, it's an undebatable thing. that he's probably arguable one of the greatest ever to do it, purely on his size and his art and whatever it is, his boxing ability and everything goes with it. And I think it's again, people might not like what I'm just gonna say, but I think it's undebatable that he's the greatest fighter in all weights to come out of Britain ever.
Well,
On his achievements.
I'm going to come back to Carl Froch a bit later on, and with regards to that cut,
I'm not getting on Carl Froch's case because I am no one to get on Carl Froch's case. Again, the man's a super champion and so on, but you're talking about Tyson, which I've got an opinion on it. It might be a little bit biased, but no one can slate Tyson's accolades really without an agenda behind it. So that's all I'm saying. And I believe after he beats Usyk and comes the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, everyone's got to put getting suit behind them, behind him, because I don't believe that anyone has ever achieved what Tyson's achieved in boxing. He's won every belt in boxing, and after he beats Usyk, he's beat 3 number ones. I don't believe one fighter's ever beat number one. Joe Calzaghe, he was number one, was he? I don't know. Again, I was only young watching him. Favourite fighter, I'd have to do a bit of research to find if he was the number one in the division. Because it's all right being a world champion. How are you number one in your division? I don't know. Don't know many Brits who has.
Let's wait and see. The cut, May 18th is the date given. Obviously, I don't know if you're an expert in cuts, but I spoke to Alex Krasak, and he said that's the only date that was kind of offered by Turki Alalshik, and he said it's got to be that date because their logistics, etc. So, do you think that's enough time for him to prepare, spar, etc. for that date and recover from that cut?
I think the reason why it's on that date is because the IBF. Ideally, probably like another. I don't know. I'm definitely no expert. I'm no expert on anything. Definitely not on the cut, so I don't really know. But what it wasn't a deep cut. It was just quite long, thin. Done a good job stitching it up, and you just got to be careful.
What was it? An elbow? Was it a punch? Because I heard your voice in the video going, "What is it?" So I can't remember what you said, but it must have been like chaotic scenes. Just describe to me like what kind of went on, because it must have been a crazy moment because the camera cut off. We don't know what happened after that.
Yeah. If I told you the truth, you wouldn't believe me. But I knew he was getting cut 2 weeks beforehand. Generally, and I had a feeling that something was going to go wrong, and a cut was in mind. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to mention it to jinx anything or anything. But what I should have done, I should have mentioned it so everyone had it on the mind. And if you say something, it don't happen, does it? But I felt like something was going to take place 2 weeks before. So yeah, what happened was he was doing 12 rounds that morning with 4 different men. He was doing who was there?
A Croatian guy?
No, there wasn't. No, there was all there. Kevin Lorena and that was there, but they all went home. Moses Atomi went home. He had to go home because some issues, whatever it was. Kevin had to go home because his mother took ill. The other fella went home over his own reasons. So we fetched some new guys in, and there was an original guy there, which is very good, from Canada, a fella called Lexus, whatever you call him. Good fighter, really good. There was Thomas McCarthy there, and fella who cut him, and another cruiserweight fella, some 13-0, 13 knockouts, whatever it was. So the plan was to do 12 rounds with the 4 men, 3, 3, and 3. Thomas went first. Tyson looked sharp, doing his job, because previously it's been a slog. I've got to do all this training and spar, and then you're doing it and whatever else. And then other morning he's just had a nice rest, he's fresh. Because the morning session he's always sharp. And then he sparred Thomas McCarthy, done well, sharp. And the fella got in for these 3 rounds. First round sharp, and then we got cut in the 5th round at the very end of the round. And that was it. He got got it and got cut, but it was by the elbow. It's quite clear to see on the phone, and it was Tyson said it. Well, the fella who done it, I can't remember his name. It's a foreign name, but nice guy. He said I threw a left hook and I followed it through with the elbow, obviously by an accident. But he said I felt the elbow hit you. And Tyson later said I felt a sharp object hit me eye, and he knew he was cut instantly. And he said, "Oh, whoa, I'm cut." And then I said, "Who's cut?" And then that was it. Fucking cut. And then that was it. Sick as cunts.
What was the chaos like in the gym straight after?
Chaos. Listen, it was just like someone's dropped dead.
Imagine.
And that's it. We went to the hospital and he got 10, 12 stitches, whatever it was. And nice, the doc said it wasn't too deep. Because in the Wallen fight, it probably would have been the same cut. But after you do 12 rounds, banging it and tearing it and so on, it's opened up and it was a terrible cut.
Can you clarify, Shane? Is it the same eye or is it the different eye?
Same eye, not the same cut. Fresh cut. Yeah, went to the hospital, come back, and that was it.
And after that, obviously, a lot of backlash, people having opinions, etc. And we saw the back and forth between Tyson and Usyk's manager, Igor Klimas. I think I spoke to him the other day and asked him to clarify some comments. And he obviously said he didn't mean to call Tyson's wife anything. But he said...
I don't believe...
I think he said the word coward. And I think he said that he just feels that Tyson's afraid to fight Usyk. But where do you think that comes from? Because they feel Tyson's unpredictable. And I'll quote Simon Jordan here as well, because he always says people are misquoting him. But he basically said Tyson isn't a coward and he feels like he's still the best heavyweight in the world and he feels like he will beat Usyk. So he was kind of having a go at Igor Klimas's comments. Where do you think that comes from?
If people really knew the truth and seen your side of it, like he's got this aura out him now that he's been navigated through his career. He's fought nobody, and he's a ducker and he won't fight anyone with a pulse. But I don't really know where it comes from. So I don't actually know. Listen, he is a bit of an irritating man, Tyson. You know, he can rub people up the wrong way. I don't know. I think I'm not social media trained, and I don't mean as in the normal social media. Oh, I'll not say something wrong, because Tyson's his own worst nightmare half the time. But what Tyson is, when I say social media trained, I go on social media, and people wouldn't want to look at me at all because I'm thinking, right, cameras in my face. I was watching telly before the camera's in my face, so I'm not going to have a party now. I see him, me and the missus go out for food and that, and you'll see these group of girls, for an example, and they'll be on the table and they'll be looking at one another. Well, they'll just be on the phones like this here, no conversation, and then one of them will do like a little video post, and then they'll be all get the champagne, oh, for 30 seconds, and then it'll just be like, boom, no conversation. Do you know what I mean? So Tyson's his own worst nightmare half the time. But with the ducking, and I don't actually know, generally, I don't actually know where anything of it comes from. You know, I want you to ask me some deep questions about where does it come from, and I will try and answer you. But start from the beginning.
This interview was powered by IPMB. I hope you enjoyed part 1. Part 2 is out for members already, and it will be out for non-members tomorrow at 12 p.m. In part 2, Shane talks about Johnny Nelson's suggestion that a mole was in the camp.
Fear. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and their opinions of others.